July 2nd, comparing. Our personal stories may vary in individual pattern, but in the end, we all have the same thing in common. Basic text, page 87. We addicts are a varied bunch, coming from different backgrounds, having used different drugs, and recalling different experiences. Our differences don't disappear in recovery. For some, those differences become even more pronounced. Freedom from active addiction gives us the freedom to be ourselves as we truly are. The fact that we are all recovering doesn't mean that we all necessarily have the same needs or goals. Each of us has our own lesson to learn in recovery. With so many differences from one addict to the next, how do we help one another in recovery, and how do we use each other's experience? We come together to share our lives in light of the principles of recovery. Though our lives are different, the spiritual principles we apply are the same. It is by the light of these principles, shining through our differences, that we illuminate one another's way on our individual paths. We all have two things in common: addiction and recovery. When we listen carefully, we hear others tell of suffering from the same disease we have suffered from, regardless of their specific backgrounds. When we open our ears, we hear other addicts talk about applying spiritual principles that promise hope to us as well, regardless of our personal goals. Just for today, I have my own path to follow, yet I'm grateful for the fellowship of others who've suffered from addiction and who are learning to apply the principles of recovery, just like me. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is just for today. And a counselor that I had in treatment would always say, from Park Avenue to the park bench, addiction sees no boundaries, does not discriminate. And it's true. You know, I've heard lawyers and doctors in the rooms speak. And, you know, I come from a very poor, meager background, and, you know, not a whole lot of education in my family, and definitely not, you know, those type of jobs, right? So hearing people on that end speak about the same disease that I have and that I suffer from, and sharing stories that are very similar, you know, even though we have different backgrounds, different goals, different, you know, I'm a blue collar electrician, and I'm in construction, and it's a different beast. You know, I was in the military, and some people don't agree with the military, whatever. We have our differences, but ultimately the idea is that our disease takes over, our lives become unmanageable, we burn down the life around us, whether I'm running a practice as a doctor or whether I'm, you know, a union electrician. It doesn't matter, you know, whether I'm white or black, Mexican, Asian, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the addiction's there, we all suffer from it, and it creates a whole lot of wreckage in our lives. And recovery is again one of the things that binds us together. You know, learning about ourselves, reflecting, getting a relationship established with our higher power, you know, being of service, getting out of our minds to come help other people and spread the message of recovery, that it's possible to live life without being addicted, or at least without active addiction, you know, because we are forever in recovery. We are never recovered. Just like, you know, somebody that has diabetes most likely is going to have diabetes their whole life, and we keep it at a rest with our daily maintenance. And you know, seeing somebody that was living this, you know, Wall Street life, and they had all this stuff going for them, and, you know, had owned the yacht, and then all of a sudden, like, lost it all and was in a detox center, and now they're at the same treatment center as me, who never had a yacht. You know, like, to see that they could still lose it all makes me feel like, oh wow, there's hope, because look, they're gaining it back. Maybe I could gain it back too, you know. And so, like, shining the light through the principles of the program to lend hope to those who are still suffering. That's what we do. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.